So this is an incredibly emotional topic, and I am a former athlete at Michigan from Michigan State University, and won the national championship there for hockey 15 years ago, 16 years ago. And obviously, there's many of you know that there was a shooting there last night. I believe it was Monday. Was it Monday the 13th? And what's gone there? I mean, I think incredibly sad. And my wife and I, we prayed many times last night. We know people there. We know a handful of people there, family members that go there. Fortunately, they're all fine. Many aren't, and it's one of those things where I think for years and years I've really held back from saying anything after mass shooting incidents, and I think that time's over. Unfortunately, emotion gets the best of human beings. It gets the best of all of us at times, and for people to not stand up and say truth, I feel like I'm doing a disservice, and I feel more lives are at danger and in harm the more that good people do not stand up and speak truth and speak their truth and their reality. And what's going on is just some of these things are just unbelievable. Sitting here, just CNN, the website that was tracking COVID deaths the entire time, and then as soon as the next president won, they took that tracker off. Things like that, like these psyops going on. So here we are. There have been more shootings in days in 2023. Again, how do they calculate those things, right? And let's cut to the chase. Again, another person that shouldn't have had a firearm. So again, showing you gun laws don't work. Again, what do we know? Gun laws don't work because gun laws only affect good people, meaning you're keeping good people from arming themselves. That's it. That's common sense. And unfortunately, we don't live in a common sense world. I know there's some of you who are going to say that and just like that blows your mind. It's just like it's like a fembot and your head's about to blow off. But again, I feel called. There are so few people out there talking truth and reality and giving an actual counter narrative to just the media spin of what's going on. It's absolutely mind blowing. And we find ourselves in more and more of these situations. Why is it that we have these problems now over the last 30 years, constantly in gun-free school zones, mind you? These things don't happen quite as much in areas that aren't gun-free. It just blows me away that it's churches, it's schools, it's clubs, restaurants, all these places, theaters, sporting events, whatever it is, where you aren't allowed to have a firearm. This is generally, not every single one, but generally, the most of them are happening in those places. Why is that? Why is that? And we have letters from shooters that say, yeah, thank you for these gun-free zones. Keep doing that. And yet we keep doing the same thing. You know why? I'll tell you why. It's because people want the emotion. The people at the top want power, and they want to keep people emotionally divided. They want to obfuscate truth and reality, not give them truth and reality, so that way they can gain more power. I have now power over you. If I don't give you truth, I don't teach you to read, if I don't teach you how to be intelligent, then I get to have power over you. It's as old as time. It's a strategy old as time. And we have people sitting there like, what do we do about this? What do we do? Well, the fact that people are so scared of firearms shows you the lack of the people growing up with firearms. If you grow up with something and you know how to handle it, then you aren't scared. You aren't scared of handling a firearm. Just like a car. Most people are okay with in the West here with cars. They grew up with cars. Yet cars kill way more people than guns do. But we're fine with cars because cars. I grew up with cars and I learned how to drive a car. Well, shouldn't you learn how to handle a firearm? You use knives. Knives kill people all the time. Knives kill tons of people. But we don't ban knives. We're not banning SUVs because people grew up with them, so they're familiar with them. Even though those kill way more, cars kill way more people, but we don't ban them. Right? These things are all just tools. Everything in life is a tool. Money's a tool. A car's a tool. A gun's a tool. A knife's a tool. A hammer's a tool. You can hurt people with all those things, or you can do great things with all those things. They're just tools. It's how human beings, their mental capacities, how they deem and decide to use them. That's it, period. Again, that blows through the emotional debate, though. And people want emotion because they want to be able to laud power. They want to control power over you and say, I have something over you. Only I can fix it. I'm here. I'm the senator. I'm the president. I'm the so-and-so. I'm the council person. And I get to decide because I'm intelligent. This is absolute insanity. And I'm sick of seeing it. I'm absolutely sick of seeing it of people not understanding firearm safety. I mean, the fact we have the UFO stuff going on, we're shooting unidentified objects. Again, if you grew up with firearms, if you grew up as a hunter, understanding firearms, one of the first 5 rules, the first 5 biggest rules of firearm safety, you don't shoot, you don't pull the trigger until you've identified your target. So again, we have a complete lack of knowledge of what's going on. We have driver tests, we have boating tests. Where are the firearm tests? The only way to protect yourself, a little lady can protect herself from a 6'6", 300-pound man, is a firearm, the great equalizer. And you want to take that away. People want to take that away from people. And here we're going to disarm all of our students, our teachers, everyone, and let one person walk around and threaten 50,000 people, 100,000 people, and terrorize them. That's mind-blowing to me. Absolutely mind-blowing that sane adults, human beings, are okay with that. It's like, yep, that's genius. This is wonderful. This is absolutely genius. And I'm sick and tired of the prayers and thoughts. I'm a staunch Catholic, but I'm sick and tired of saying prayers and thoughts because these are needless things. These are mindless, needless things that need to keep happening. We shouldn't have to be. And people on both sides are right. You shouldn't have to be continually saying thoughts and prayers, thoughts and prayers. It feels like nothing's going on. And I beg to differ. In all these situations, there are millions of minor things and major things that happen that show God's presence. However, that's a different story. You shouldn't have to be saying the fact that these things are happening. God still puts us here to test. It's a test at the end of the day. Are you using the talents and abilities I have given you? Are you using them? Or are you just sitting idly on the side as a passenger in life? What are you doing? I'm sick of innocent people dying that are preventable issues, whether it's mental health, which we have complete lack of control of, whether it's presidents letting out over the last 20 years, I'm not going to name any names right now, but go look, trust but verify, go look, do your own research, letting out tens of thousands of violent criminals, people flooding over our borders. We have no idea who they are. Again, we're pro-immigration. We're very pro-immigration here. But we got to know who's coming in. We have no idea who's coming in. We're letting people out of prisons left and right. We're shutting down prisons. And we expect this just, things just to be okay. We expect things to just be hunky-dory. Like, things are going to be awesome. Absolute clown world. This is just absolute clown world. And we expect our kids, I expect when I send my daughter, my son to school, it's like, well, what do you think? You're sending them to a gun-free school zone, or you're sending them to this and that, and then people are unfortunately this doesn't happen. This could happen 1,000 times a day, but it doesn't, fortunately, because most people inherently are good. And most people are alert, actually, believe it or not. This is just mind-blowing that people have this common sense. We use emotion to run our lives now instead of logic and thought and first principles, nature's law. We've completely gotten away from what makes us human at the end of the day. And emotions are a part of humanity. And it's okay to grieve and be sad and pray and meditate and think about these things, but also then come with a logical conclusion after that of, hey, you know what? Things are getting crazy. I need to protect myself. I need to figure out how to use a firearm. I need to actually protect myself. Because guess what? Humans work on incentives too. So if the more people are armed and carrying a firearm and know how to use a firearm, know the laws, and know the rules of firearm safety. I shouldn't say not government laws, but know the laws, the unwritten rules of firearm safety, of keep your hand off the trigger until you're ready to fire, identifying your target, keep your safety on, never flash, put your barrel at someone, or point your barrel at someone that you're not willing to shoot, and make sure the gun's unloaded. Like making sure that. Those are the 5 rules of gun safety. You couldn't even, 1 in 10,000 people would know those rules. That's how little we know and how far we have fallen as a country from where we have come from. Understanding basic protection of where food comes from and going and shooting and hunting, sportsmanship, just going and using it as a sport. And there's many ways. Protection from your government. There's 4 or 5 massive reasons you own a firearm. Just like there's 4 or 5 big reasons you probably own a car, or 4 or 5 reasons you own a knife, 4 or 5 reasons you have medicine in your cabinet, or 4 or 5 reasons you have whatever you have. It's the same thing. Everything has a proper role in life. And these are just tools. They're tools to help you with your life. And again, this hits home, being an MSU graduate and having a lot of success there and having family and friends there, and so many family and friends there go over there over the years, and then family there now. And I have to say something. I have to start speaking out against this because I'm called, something inside of me is calling me and compelling me to speak my truth, speak reality into the situation, instead of having emotional people just out here like the governor of Michigan and like people out there using it as a political football, instead of just using common sense and saying, you know what, darn it, maybe we're doing this wrong. If doing the same thing over again is insanity, why would we continue doing the gun-free school zones or gun-free zones in general? Why would we continue all these things and expect a different result? If it's not working, why would you keep doing the same thing over and over again? Why would you think more and more laws and rules and regulations? Because again, newsflash, only good people follow rules and regulations. Bad people, if I'm bad, I'm not going to follow the rules. I'm going to tell you to F off and see ya. Cool, thanks for your rules. That just helps me do what I need to do even more. So where are we? Where are we, friends? What are we going to do? I appreciate you listening to this. Please share this out with someone that you think might get something from this, or maybe that you're arguing with. Unfortunately, we have to start removing the emotion from debate and start making logical arguments and logical conclusions. We have to do something to stop gun violence. Biden. I mean, just clown world. Yeah, like everyone, no one wants gun violence. No one wants gun violence. Biden. No one. I mean, you have half the country that thinks other people just want gas chambers and want this and that. I mean, it's absolute clown world. You want, that side wants dirty air and dirty water. Yeah, I have to breathe that too. You think I want that? My kids go to school too. You think I want that? We have to start thinking logically, though. We have to start thinking morally and principally and logically and using reality as the basis of what we're doing. First principles. We already talked about the more shootings, trying to scare people, and the tracker, the ticker. Why we're still unable to prevent mass shootings. It's just, we're going to take, you know what, all the law-abiding citizens, all the people that protect this country, we're going to take that all from them. We're going to take this. And again, we're not even getting the stats. I mean, people cherry pick stats all the time, and I'm not going to get in the stats because we just need to use common sense. I'm not going to get in the stats because both sides, the stats don't bear it out well. If you're a gun control advocate, if you are for protection and freedom, the stats bear it out very well. But the other side will try to cherry pick things, and it's nonsensical. But let's just use common sense. That's what the whole point of this is. Trust but verify what I'm saying, and just think. Sit back, close your eyes, just think. Listen to what I said. Go back through the video and listen to what I'm saying. Just common sense, using common sense. A shooter pled guilty to a 2019 firearm charge. I mean, the father saying, again, mental health issues. There's things that are seen. There's things that are going on. Again, I know a lot of people. I don't know anyone's ever done that because I don't know a lot of people that are in those situations. So these things it's not super complicated to figure these things out. And then, of course, it's died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound, as many of them do. They're shot or they're self-inflicted gunshot wound. So we never get to know. Again, it's the whole, we've been talking a lot about things going on, and we never get the answers. We never get the answers to see what's actually going on. What happened to the spy balloon? What happened with this? Was there actually something going on there? What was it? What were we being distracted from? This is what is so frustrating. This is why the country is fracturing, and no one believes the institutions, no one believes each other, because you can't get truth. Media, academia, government, all the trifecta of polarization and emotion-based arguments and ad hominem attacks, straw man attacks. So then you have people like General Milley. Don't believe him for a lick. He's over here. He's more worried. He's less worried about hey, where did that first missile go from the F-16 over Lake Huron, and he's more worried about what's the quotas we've got at the Naval Academy, or what's the quotas here we've got the service academies, and is everyone in the right bathrooms? This is what do you expect at the end of the day? This is beyond alarming. It's beyond frustrating and maddening and sad. And I frankly had it. Please let me know your thoughts. I could keep going on this forever. I'm not going to. I appreciate your time and energy. It's the most important asset we have. And it's time that good, honest, decent people repair the standard our forefathers gave to us. Because it's falling. And we're falling fast. So I appreciate you, your time and energy. Please let me know your thoughts on this, your comments. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Please share this out as well. And I appreciate your time and energy. It's the most important asset we have. This is none of this advice. Trust but verify. I appreciate you coming to my TED Talk. I have to start speaking out about this. This is just something inside for years and years and years. And I've tried not to. But you can't, those who stand silent in the face of evil are complicit with evil themselves. Appreciate you. I love you. I'll see you on the next one.